Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Michael Williams, and I want to welcome you to another Pro 90D interview. And today I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman by the name of Dylan. And I want to thank Dylan for giving me permission to use his pre-video. Because if you've been looking at my website or YouTube videos, you'll notice I don't have a lot of pre-video, really only a couple. I do have quite a few after videos. And what I want you to know is that all the videos you see are a fraction of the people that I actually work with, because many people don't want to do videos at all. So I thank all of you who do allow me to interview you. And I especially thank those of you who allow me to show your pre-videos because, let's face it, we're people that need to see to believe. So yeah, you can look at someone after and go, well, they didn't really start that bad, or they weren't that bad before. Michael's probably paying these people, or they're related to him. And they're not, and I'm not paying them. And many of them did struggle, some severely, before we started. This is one of those examples that we're going to show you in this video of someone that really struggled with his speech prior Pro 90D, pre-Pro 90D. And you'll see a dramatic transformation now. He is still working on his speech, right? He's still working on his speech, and we're going to interview him in another 3 months, 6 months, or a year, and you're going to see the speech will be even better than it is now. So I want to thank Dylan for allowing me to interview him and to share his video. So go ahead and watch this video. I didn't edit it. I didn't cut anything out because he had so much great stuff to say in the pre-video that I wanted to just give it all to you. Feel free to fast forward through it, right? To get to whatever parts you want. But go ahead and watch the video, and then of course watch the after video, okay? So I look forward to seeing you in the pre-interview and then the post-interview. Okay, this is Michael Williams. I'm here with Mr. Dylan Nash, and this is really our first session. So just wanted to take a couple of minutes to ask you a couple of questions. One question is, how has life been for you, being someone that has struggled a bit with your speech?
Life's been pretty, good. Uh, I mean, I felt that I was very lim. I felt that I was very limited to to what I could uh, 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 to what I could become. Um, but other than that, um, uh, I can't really let my speech um, 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 get in the way of what I want to, uh, uh, be, right? Um, 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 uh, but it is a constant struggle.
Right. Now, you mentioned to me something that you wanted to do once your speech uh, got better, and so tell me just a little bit about that, and what is it that made you choose this approach? Why did you pick me to work with? Because there's lots of other people out there, and what is it that made you choose this approach, and how does that tie in with what you want to do?
Well, the reason why I chose uh, this was that, a good friend of mine was looking around, and he found you. So I just decided to look into it, and what I found uh, is that it works. Like, right, the first day or two, um, um, I took what you told me, and when I, when I actually started to use uh, started to use it, I was able to say I, I was able to say what I wanted to say, uh, um, at least a lot more uh, fluently, and well, right, in the future, um, what I really want is to be able to start a church, and right, and in order to, well, it's just that I I am going to be no, I'm sorry. I am going to have to uh, be able to say what I want to say when, you know when I want to say it, uh, both both fluently, uh, and confidently. So I chose the one that that actually gave me her results.
Right. Yeah, I remember you told me, and you're not the first person who said that they watched. You actually did that on your own. You watched some videos and you experienced fluency for a period of time. And some people then say, well, yeah, you did it for a period of time and then it went away. But the thing that you experienced is that you actually could speak fluently, and really the only thing that was missing was a systematic approach to training yourself to think the way you were thinking and to speak the way you were speaking. That was just really a taste that just says, I really can do this. I just need a systematic approach and some encouragement to keep at this over a period of time, right?
Yeah, that is like so true, right? Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And now you're just getting ready to graduate high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you work, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And now I think you told me you're paying for this yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's really encouraging because there's a lot of adults who I know that this is something that they need, even if it's not this and this the self study, which is 20 times less. There are a lot of people out there who don't want to invest in themselves. And you, being just 18, have saved your money and have made a pretty significant investment. And that is really something to be applauded. And when we do another video, I think not only you, but those who are watching this will be absolutely amazed at the transformation that takes place. And it's going to stick. It's not going to be something that starts and that you lose, but it's going to be something that sticks.
Yeah. So, well, the thing is that I know that it will be, worth, right, every penny, right? So I'm willing, right? I will, I want this, right? Like, um, right? I just really want to, um, um, uh, I really want my, I just really want, I want my, I want my speech to, um, um, be um, used, right, for, well, I mean, right, I want it to be used for um, uh, the glory, uh, of my uh, savior, right? So, I mean, yeah, I know it will be worth it. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, thank you very much for taking the time to do this, and we're going to go ahead and get to work right now.
Let's go.
Now, let's take a look at Dylan post Pro 90D. All right, this is Michael Williams, and I am here with someone very, very special, and his name is Dylan. And I want to thank you, Dylan, for giving me the opportunity to interview you, because not everyone wants to be interviewed. And the people that you, the audience, see on my site are a fraction of the people that I actually work with, because some people just don't want to be interviewed, right? So thank you for being willing to do this.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Now, tell me, where do you live, Dylan?
I live in Fort McMurray, Alberta.
Alberta, which is up where? That's up in like Canada in that area, right?
Canada, yeah. Way up north.
Way up there. Okay, all right, good. And we worked together last year a little bit. Then we came back and did some follow up work this year. And probably as you all have already seen, you've seen Dylan's pre video, right? I probably will have already shown that before you see this. So you've seen where he was when we started. And now you'll kind of see where he's at now. And he's still working. We're still working, but you'll see where he's at. So I just wanted to ask you, Dylan, how was life for you before we started last year sometime?
Well, first thing I'll say, it was a lot different. uh, you know, life then, I mean, yes, it was okay, but it seemed like I very much limited myself, to what I thought that I could be able to do,
Hmm.
right? So, I mean, there's a big change from then to now, that's for sure.
And one of the things you said you wanted to do, I remember, I don't know if I played that in the video yet or not, but you talked about ministry. So what is that, like one of your passions and reasons for wanting to do this?
Well, one of the things that I love preaching. I mean, I love to just kind of, I love to, to listen to it. I love it. And, and the thing is, for some reason, I've always believed that that's something that God has actually called me to do. Although, over the years, it just kind of was like, well, if I'm going to preach, you know, there are certain things that I'm going to need, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so this is just a step, right? Uh, to just kind of go on to the next step, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. And so you and I kind of have had that in common because that's one of the things that kind of pushed me to start working on my speech a long time ago. Is I wanted to teach, I wanted to do ministry, and like Moses, I was like, well, I can't speak very well, and so I got this impression that was like, okay, then you need to do something about it, right? Because you're never going to be happy or fulfilled unless you do. So that's what motivated me.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah. So tell me now, tell me about the work that you've had to do. Has this been an easy process or has it been hard?
Easy process. This was never any kind of easy process. It do not come easy. I tell you that. It takes work, it takes time, it takes patience.
Hmm.
Man, do it ever take patience, right?
What are some of if you could think of any specific struggles that you've had, like what are some struggles that you've had working through this process that you might share with other people?
Well, at first it was hard to gain that confidence, right? You know, even after I started, I mean, yes, I was able to speak a lot smoother in such a way, but it was almost like, that 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 whole sense of, uh, thinking, oh no, like, will I, am I gonna get stuck or what, right? That was always there. And you know what? And even now, I still struggle with it a little bit, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Although for me, that was definitely something that I had to really try and suppress. And the only way that you can is if you kind of put yourself, put yourself out there, and you actually, no matter what, in every conversation, everything, you try your hardest, no matter if it goes good or not. You gotta try and use what you've learned, because if you don't use it, it's never gonna work, right?
Yeah, thank you for saying that because that's the difference. You know, there are lots of people that may take the course, the self study course. Some people that go through the coaching, and if you don't actually get out there and try to use it, and I always say this, I say this in every video. It's like learning a second language. You can't say, "Oh, that didn't work. I can't learn it," because you got out and you tried to use it and it didn't work. You know, you could, of course, you got to keep practicing, got to keep getting out there, putting yourself in those kind of situations and becoming more and more, because you're afraid, you're anxious about, oh, I don't know what, but you got to keep doing it, right? And that's what you're saying.
Yes, for sure. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, how did you find me and why did you choose me? You're all the way up there in Canada. I'm all the way down here. How did you find me the first time and why me? Because there's other people out there.
Actually, you know what? The only one that I got to thank for that is Lord. And the reason why I say that is because the one that showed me you was actually my pastor, right? Because he realized that this is something that I was struggling with. So he kind of, so he looked around, and then he happened to find you. And and actually, what's really funny? It's because um, when when he when he presented you to me, I really didn't think, too much. I didn't think too much about it. But then one night, I'm telling I watched probably 3 or 4 of your videos, and the next morning, man, it was like it was almost like I was cured, right? I could say what I want to say, there was no hesitation, right? So then I was like, man, there has to be something here, right? So so then that's when I said, well, you know what? I have I have already I've already seen I've already seen results. So I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna try it. And I'm very thankful that I actually went forth and I did.
Yeah, interesting. I You may have told me before, but I don't think I remember that it was your pastor that introduced us.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. Okay. Cool. So again, I want the audience to know that you're still working and you and I are still doing some work together. We're going to probably do another interview maybe in a few months. But where you are now, how is life different for you? How do you feel different? How are your relationships different? So forth.
Well, no, it's totally different in so many ways. Uh, Especially with certain people, man, it's just wonderful. I'm just able to talk normal, just normal, right? And I wasn't able to do that, right? So you know, and it's actually hard on certain relationships. It really was, because you know what, communication is a big thing. It really is. It's very important, right?
Yeah.
So oh man, it's just huge. um,
So what would you tell someone watching this video? They're considering either doing the self-study or doing the coaching. They've been struggling with their speech. Either they're severe or maybe mild, right? They're struggling, they're watching, they're trying to decide, is this Michael Williams guy for real? Does this program really work for people that, again, some people think, well, it only works for people that are mild, or it only works for people that are severe. So people are wondering about this. What would you tell them?
well, I think that I was as severe as it gets. And man, don't even second don't even second guess it. And when I say it, I mean it from the heart. This program has made a huge impact in my life. And uh, I mean, I would recommend you to anybody, hands down. Because yes, before I've tried, other kinds of speech therapy, right? But nothing, absolutely nothing made such an impact as your program or your system. And you know what, the thing about it is your program is so much more so much more different. I mean, really. And all I can say is it works. I mean, I have experienced it. I know that it works. Although you got to put the work in, because if you don't put the work in, you're not going to see any results. Then you're going to lose hope.
That's right.
You got to put the work in.
You got to put the. We're going to end on that because I like that. You got to put the work in. Thank you, Dylan. People are going to see you again because we're going to come back. And what really excites me is to come back and do interviews with my clients months or a year later and actually see them better, because a lot of people wonder, well, yeah, okay, you're still working with them, and people regress. But if you put the work in, we're going to come back 3 months, 6 months, a year, and we're all going to see your speech is actually going to be better. And you don't have to keep the same level of intensity up of practicing and all that. Once you do this and you just keep getting out there and speaking, just like a second language, you keep getting out there speaking it, you get to the place where you don't think about it anymore. It's natural. It'll be the same way with you, that your speech will be even better than what it is now, and it'll be natural. Yeah. Thank you very much. You got any last words or anything, except for you got to put the work in, which is good enough?
Man, I mean, actually, no. That is it. Because if you got to put the work in, whether you like it or not, I'm sorry. But no, thank you. It's good.
Thank you, Dylan, and we'll see you next time, man.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this interview. I know it was on the longer side, but if you're interested in improving your speech, you'll take all the time that you need. In fact, one of the things that's going to be required of you, at least in my program, is you're going to have to spend a lot of time working on your speech. This isn't something that can be changed or transformed easily. We're talking about changing your patterns of thinking, some of your beliefs, as well as changing or creating a new speaking style. This takes a tremendous amount of focus, energy, time, and attention, but it's doable, right? It's doable. And if you really want to transform your life, if you really want to be able to say what you want to say, smoothly, clearly, and confidently, without fear and without stuttering, then you're going to put in the time, you're going to invest the resources that you need to make that happen. So I want to encourage you that if you're ready to make that step, go ahead and contact me. Now, not only do I work with people who stutter, but I work with people who want to improve their public speaking, their presentation skills, right? So if you're working in a company and you know that in order to excel, that in order to progress, to move forward, to move up in your company, that you're going to need greater mastery of your presentation skills, that you're going to need to be able to present more clearly and more smoothly and more confidently. You're going to need to be able to captivate your audience, right? Even if you're talking about data, you still want to be able to hold their attention. If you want to be able to do that, I want you to contact me, because I work with people literally from around the world to help them improve their speech, not just from stuttering, but also to help them improve their presentation skills, right? Improving their speech, but specifically their presentation skills. Thank you so much for watching this. Go ahead and get in touch with me if you're ready to move forward, or if you simply have questions. Look forward to seeing you and working with you. This is Michael Williams, and I'll see you later.